Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn .NET API availability monitoring using OpenTelemetry, Prometheus and Grafana. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, the prerequisites. So first of all, we need AWS account with Ubuntu 24.04 EC2 instance, and we need basic knowledge of ASP.NET, Prometheus, and Grafana. So as you know, ASP.NET, Prometheus, and Grafana. If you don't know, then you can watch my previous sessions. In that session, I have done ASP.NET, Prometheus, and Grafana. Okay, so let's start to .NET API availability monitoring using OpenTelemetry, Prometheus, and Grafana. So as you can see in prerequisite, first of all, we need Ubuntu instance. As you can see, I have successfully launched and successfully connected to my terminal. Okay, so let me clear screen first. Okay, now the first step is let's install .NET SDK on Ubuntu. Okay, so first of all, let's update the system packages and upgrade the package list to ensure you are installing the latest version. So let's run these two commands: apt sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade -y. So it's updating our system packages. Okay, it's done almost. Then after that, we will install the .NET 9 SDK using Microsoft Official Script. So let's download the .NET installation script using wget command. Okay, so I'm going to download. After that, okay. So as you can see, it's successfully upgrade and successfully update. Now let's download the .NET SDK. Okay, if I run the ls command, as you can see, the file. After that, let's make the script executable. So let's run this permission to give some permission. Okay. Then install .NET 9 SDK. So this will install the SDK to your user's home directory. So let's install using the following command. As you can see, it's installing .NET on Ubuntu. It takes few seconds to complete. As you can see, it's done. You can see successfully. Installation finished successfully. Okay. So we have successfully installed .NET. Okay. So let's make the .NET command available globally. So add it your shell's path. So let's add first of all this and the second command. Okay, done. And in last, let's check your .NET is successfully installed or not, and the version and the details of your .NET. So the command is .NET -f version. So you can see the version 9.0.302. Okay, that's the version that we have used. Okay. Okay, the first step is done. Now it's time to second step. So the second step is let's create and configure .NET Core API. Okay, so first of all, let's create a new minimal web APIs project. For that, so the command is .NET new web -o to do API. Okay, so let's create. As you can see, it's successfully created. You can see the template ASP.NET Core empty was created successfully. Okay. You can see if I run the ls command to do API the fold. Okay. Okay. Then next is let's navigate tips. So let's insert this to do API. T capital. That's the files in this to do APIs. Okay. So let's add the necessary NuGet package for API telemetry and documentation. So we need to add these necessary packages to this to do API. So for that, I'm going to run these commands. Run these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commands at a time. So you can paste here. So it takes few seconds to complete this because that's the 8 command that is going to run, right? Now there's third one, and now it's fourth one, and this is fifth one, and this sixth, seven, and now it's maybe last. As you can see, it's last, right? How you can see build success in 0.8 seconds. So that's the eighth one, that's the seventh one. Okay, so that's our 8 command is successfully run. Okay, it's done. Now the next is let's create the model database contests and TDO files. Okay, so I'm going to create a todos.cs folder here, and in this file to do cs file. In this file, I'm going to add this content file. As you can see, namespace, public class, public int id, and so on the details. Okay, so let's save the file. Okay, it's done. Then this model is used for storing and processing to-do items in the API. Okay, now let's create to-do db.cs folder file. And in this file, let's add this data. That's public documents and so on the details. Okay. The next one is this class is essential for managing data resistance in the ASP.NET Core API. So let's create one more file with the name to-do item dto.cs file. Okay. So we have successfully created 3 files to-do CS, to-do DB, to-do item DTO CS. Okay. Now replace this content of the default program.cs file with your minimal API logic, including new OpenTelemetry configuration for metrics and logging. So let's open program.cs file, and I'm going to replace this with my code. So here is my program.cs file. Okay, so let me save this file. Okay, so it's done. We have successfully created 4 files here. Okay, now let's publish your application directory on EC2 instance to create self-contained deploy. So ensure you are in the to-do API directory. Okay, so let's click on publish. Now we are in to-do API directory, right? Okay, so let's click on publish. So let's run this command to publish. To-do API. As you can see, it succeed, publish, build success in 6 seconds. It successfully published. Okay. Now the next step, now the third step is let's configure a systemd service. So let's create a systemd service to run the API. So for that, I'm going to create a file with the name todo api.service in this particular location. And in this file, we need to add this data. And as you can see, to access these todo items, the port number is 5000, right? So you need to open this port number on your security group if you want to access this. Then after that, this allow.NET API to run this restart and failure. So let's reload the system. Then let's enable todo API. Then start todo API. And as you know, let's check the status. It's active, running. Okay. Okay. So it's done, right? Okay. So let's navigate back to the home directory. So let's exit from this directory. And now it's time to install and configure Prometheus. Okay. So let's create a Prometheus user. So for that, we need to run this command to create Prometheus user. The username is Prometheus. And then after that, the next is let's create necessary directories for this. So we are going to create a directory with the name Prometheus in this location. Then let's download the latest Prometheus binary. Now if I run the ls command, as you can see in red Prometheus directory that in tar.cz file, we need to extract this using the following command. Okay. Then after that, let's inside this Prometheus directory that we have successfully extracted. And we need to move to this particular location. And then let's set the ownership for the binaries to Prometheus. And let's exit from this Prometheus directory. Okay, done. Okay, now let's set the ownership for the binaries. First, Prometheus is in particular directory because we have successfully moved to this directory, right? Then let's set. And now let's open the Prometheus configuration file. And in this configuration file, we are going to add the job with the name todo API. Okay. Job name is todo API and the port number of todo API is 5000. As I told you, the todo API default port number is 5000. Okay. So you need to open this on your security card. Okay. Then after that, let's set the ownership for the config file. So let's set, and after that, let's create a systemd file for Prometheus service. And as you know, the Prometheus default port number is 9090. So let's reload the system, let's enable the system, and let's start the system. Okay, now let's check the status of it. As you can see, it's active, running. Okay, that means you have successfully installed Prometheus. Okay, okay, it's done. Now let's install and start Grafana. Okay, so now it's time to install Grafana. As of now, we have successfully run these commands for todo APIs, and we have successfully we have successfully created these files. Then we have successfully created Prometheus install Prometheus, and in this Prometheus we have successfully added a job with the name to do API. Okay, now it's time to install Grafana. Okay, so first of all, let's install the dependencies for Grafana. So let's install. Okay, then let's add Grafana's GPG keys using the following command. And after that, let's run this command using wget. Okay, and then let's add the Grafana apt repositories. So let's run this and let's update the system before installing Grafana. And now let's install Grafana. So as you can see, it's installing Grafana. So Grafana is 175 MB. Okay. So wait a second, it almost done. Yeah. Grafana is successfully installed. Okay. Now it's time to enable and start Grafana server. As you can see, we have successfully enabled the Grafana, right? And we have successfully start our Grafana. Okay. Now let's check the status. If you want, then you can check the status also Grafana server. You can say it's active running. Okay, it's done. So we have successfully installed Grafana also. Okay. Now the next step is let's test the deploy.NET API. So as you know, we have successfully deployed, we have successfully published this to the API, right? So let's test and deploy. Okay. So how? So let's test. So first of all, here you need to copy your instance IP, hit on browser, and the port number of to-do API is 5000, and then you need to enter /swagger. And as you can see, the index.html page. Okay. So as you can see here, you can see your server IP, you can see here your server IP and so on the details to API version, Swagger to do, Swagger.json, and so on the details here. Okay. So let's interact with your APIs like post, okay, get, put, delete, and etc. Okay. So to generate some traffic, this will produce metrics and logs, and we will use the JSON payload to interact with the API's endpoints. Okay. So here, first of all, in this post to do items, so let's click on try it out, and here it's paste. Okay, and let's click on this execute. After that, you will receive 201 created response. Let's check. As you can see, the response 201, the response body. And the request URL, you can see to do items, your instance IP, and the port number, and these two items. Okay. Then gate, if you want to check the gate, you can go to the gate also. And here, if you want to click on try out, click on, sorry, execute. And here you can see we should receive 200 expected response. Okay. Here you should you can see you will receive 200, that is the expected response. Okay, so here you can see that get and post to do items is complete. Okay, then after that here, so here as you can see, if I go to this get to do items complete, okay, so this should return only those items where it's complete, it's true. Okay, if it is false, it will not return. Okay, so let's check. Click on try it out. As you can see, it's returned 200. That expected response. Okay, then okay. After that, let's go to this put. Click on try it out. And here in this put, so update the existing to-do list items and first enter the example 1 and here and here this is complete to false. Let's update the true replace with false. Okay, and the expected response that HTTP status is 204. If it will change its complete to false from true. Okay, so let's execute. As you can see, the expected is 204 as I told you. Okay. Now let's check if you want to check the delete. So this delete remove a to-do item into our example here. Sorry. Enter example 1. Okay. So let's check. You can see the date and server and so on the details of it. Okay. Okay. It's done. Okay, that's this to-do items list and so on the details. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to this. And after that here, we will also generate some errors to see. If you want, then you can enter this command. Nothing to do. Okay. Okay. It's done. Okay. Now the next step is let's test Prometheus deployment. Okay. So we have successfully tested this deployment of this .NET ASP, right? That we have successfully run, right? .NET API. Okay, now it's time to test the deployment of Prometheus. So how to test? So as you know the Prometheus port number. So enter your instance IP and Prometheus port number is 9090. Okay, so as you can see, this is the Prometheus dashboard. So go to the status, click on target health, and as you can see, there is a one job with the name to do API. The port number is 5000. If you want to check the metrics, then you can click on this and you can check this metrics also. Okay, and label instance. You can see the metrics of these two items because it needs your instance IP. Okay. Okay. Then labels instance localhost 5000 jobs this name to do API last grab and the state is up. It's online. Okay. Right. So let's go to this here. And after that here, let's try the graph query. Okay. So I'm going to run this command. Sorry, run this query. So as you can see the graph of it, as you can see, that's the example. Okay. Okay. So it's successfully done. So we have successfully installed Prometheus and we have successfully checked this. Okay, it's working properly. Now it's time to test the Grafana deployment. So as you know how to access Grafana, so let's copy your instance IP, hit on browser, and the Grafana port number is 3000. So as you can see the dashboard of Grafana. As you can see the dashboard of Grafana, welcome to Grafana. So first of all, it will ask your username and password. So when you log in Grafana for the first time after installation, the default password, as a default username and password is admin. As you can see, my password also admin and username is admin. So click on login. So let's update your password for the security. Then you can enter new password, then confirm new password or if you want. Okay, if you want to choose this password, then click on use strong, and if you want to choose whatever you want, then click on choose your own. Okay, so as of now I'm going to skip this. Okay, then after that, as you can see, that's the dashboard of Grafana. Okay, so we have successfully logged into Grafana. Then after that, oh okay, so now let's go to the connections. So here click on connections and go to the data source. And here we need to add data source. The data source will be Prometheus. And after that, here you need to enter the Prometheus URL. Okay, so let's go to the Prometheus and the Prometheus URL, that is instance IP and the port number of Prometheus. Okay, let's paste here. And now keep as it is and click on save and test. And it should say successfully queried the Prometheus API. Okay, let's check. You can see successfully queried the Prometheus API. Okay, so as you can see, successfully queried the Prometheus API, right? Okay, it's done. Now, okay, you can see it's done. Okay, now let's click on this plus icon, new dashboard at the top right corner. Okay, so let's go to this in here, the icon, and click on new dashboard. Click on add visualization and the select data source. So the default data source is Prometheus that we have added, right? Okay, so now you will have this page. Okay, after that you can see here, select this as visualization. So let's select age. Okay, and after that let's scroll down. So first of all, here this builder, click on this code and here enter the query. So here is our query to enter the pumpkin in the metric browser. Okay, and now let's click on run query. So as you can see the data. Okay, so you can see the data overall, the title like overall availability and so on the details. Okay, and now click on save dashboard. Okay, so enter whatever you want, name overall availability and whatever you if you want. I'm going to keep as it is new dashboard and click on save. Okay, it's saved. Okay, now after that, let's go to the here. Okay, so now here let's go to this visualization. Okay, so as you can see here, Okay. After that, when we successfully save this, click on back to dashboard, and here you can see this add panel, and click on this and click on visualization. Okay, so here, first of all, here, let's select this visualization table as table. Okay, and let's enter this query. Let's enter this query here in this metric browser. And after that, you can see here in this query, these you can see the get, post, put, and so on the details. When we run the queries, you can see the details fit. Okay, so this is show the top 10 most requested endpoints like get, post, put, and etc. And how many times each was it. Okay, okay. Now, before click on option, and here custom, and in this I'm going to run this command. Sorry, here I'm going to and time series select as table, and now run query, and you can see the request method get, right, and post get, you can see, and you can see the data of it, right, you can see delete, put, get in to-do list in this here, right, that's the details of it, you can see. Okay, okay, now let's go to this, scroll down and go to the transformation, and select click on add transformation, and here search group by. Okay, and after that, as you can see here, the options title, so keep here time, keep time is ignore. Okay, then here, okay, and then after that, as you can see, then requested method, right, and value. Okay, so requested method and value, and here you can see the time is ignored and method root group by the value. Okay, value. If you want medium, then you can choose medium. And here I'm going to total. And then value, right? Method value. Okay. And the method root, click on group by. Okay. And it's total. If you want, then you can remove and you can add whatever you want. And values keep as it is. Okay. Ignore. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Time ignore, and the value is calculated by, and in value you can enter total. And as you can see the totals of it and so on the details. If you want to add another, then you can add another. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Now let's click on save dashboard. Click on save. So let's click on save it. So Okay. Okay, click on save. Okay, our dashboard successfully saved. Okay, now let's go to this add custom drop downs in Grafana. Okay, so click on back. As you can see here, the new panel and the details and so on. Right. Okay. So now, after that, let's go to the variables. Okay. So let's go to the settings. Click on variables. Add variable. Okay. So here, first of all, let's enter the names. First of all, env name, env, then label, enter environment, then description. The description is optional. Then query type is label values. Here is query type, label values. Okay, then choose label. So the label name is $env, right? Then metric name. So enter the metric. The job is, sorry, label filter is job and job name is to do API. Job and the value is to do API. Okay, then after that, in the selection open, select multi-values and include all the option custom values and enter these here. Select this and custom values, enter and click on save dashboard. If you want run query, then for that, let's click on save dashboard. It's safe. Okay, then go back to the variables and click on add new variable again. Then back to the dashboard. It's saved. Again go to the settings, again go to the variables, again click on that. As you can see that first that we have added our variables. Again the new variable. The next one variable name is app. And the label name is application name. Right, and the label type is label values. Then label is $app and the metric is and here no label filters. Okay, then select these three and enter custom values. If you want to run query and click on save dashboard, save. Okay, and now the third one. Now go back to the dashboard, go to the settings, go to the variables and the second one, and now click on third one. So here enter the name is roots, then label is HTTP root and the label type is label values. And the label is as you can see the label name. Let's check for once if it is wrong. Label is HTTP root. Okay. Label is HTTP root. Then metric. Then job and the filter is to do API. With this, enter custom value. Let's check for once. Okay, select multiple and click on this dashboard. Okay, run query and click on save dashboard. Save. Go to the dashboard. Now click on settings. Go to the variables and you can see here will not preferred. Okay, as you can see the roots. Okay, it's done. You can see env app and routes. You can see it's done. This is really preferred by the other variables on dashboard and dashboard. If you want to show the uses, if you want to duplicate variables, if you want to remove, then you can choose this option. Okay, now then select option multiple include. Okay, now go back to your dashboard and go to the any panel. Okay, now go back to the dashboards. And as you can see here, you will see the custom drop-downs boxes are added. You can see environment, all application, HTTP routes. You can see the drop-downs. You can see, right? It's done. Okay, so it's done. So in this session, we have learned .NET API availability monitoring using OpenTelemetry, Prometheus, and Grafana. So thank you for watching, and I hope you understand.